Good morning, you guys. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name's Nikki. Today's video is going to be my October project pan for my 3-wick candles from Bath & Body Works. I told y'all I was going to try to get this video up earlier this month because the September one went up halfway through the month. So here I am coming at you at the very beginning of October with the candles that I'm trying to get through. They are all very fall scents, lots of pumpkin, lots of those good spices. So I'm really excited for this month. It's got some of my all-time favorite candles. So let's get started. So this is a definite October candle. Packaging wise, scent wise, this was last year's version of pumpkin carving. They do have it this year again in another gorgeous Halloween label. It's black with pumpkins, different than this one. This one last year was one of my favorite packaging styles ever. This was like, they had a whole haunted mansion theme and this was from that. And I didn't get all the way through it. I do still have some left. So it was on my list to use the rest of that up. I love this candle so much. This one also had the spider webs on the lid. So the notes are freshly carved pumpkin, spiced pumpkin seeds, and smooth brown sugar. And this is one of their best true pumpkin scents. It's not a particularly bakery scent or a really sweet scent. You get a lot of the actual scent of pumpkin like you are, as the name would suggest, carving into a pumpkin, and you get the scent that comes out of it of the actual like meat and seeds of the pumpkin. It smells so good. It's so reminiscent of Halloween for me. You do get a little hint of sweetness from that brown sugar, but not a lot. This is not a super sweet scent. It's not overpowering. It's not cloying, and I just love it. I love burning this every year in October. It brings in all of those Halloween feels. All right, so the next one on my list is probably my all-time favorite fall bakery scent. It is pumpkin pecan waffles. This is this year's packaging. I love the lids this year with the pumpkins on the lids. I think they're so cute. So this candle has notes of maple syrup, golden waffles, pumpkin spice, and brown sugar. And you guys, this candle will fill up your house and your whole house will smell like this. Oh my gosh, it's so good. So I accidentally burned it the other day. I'm burning Sweet Cinnamon Pumpkin right now, and they have similar packaging and wax color. And so I accidentally lit this thinking it was Sweet Cinnamon Pumpkin. And within 10 minutes, I was like, why does my house smell like a baked good? It smells amazing. But it was not what I was expecting from Sweet Cinnamon Pumpkin. And then I realized I accidentally lit pumpkin pecan waffles, and I was not complaining because I love pumpkin pecan waffles. It has some similarities to sugared Snickerdoodle. If you're familiar with that scent, that like thick, heavy bakery scent that is just delicious and intoxicating, but it is very sweet, not like sugary, syrupy sweet. Those kind of scents sometimes are too much for me. Like the maple syrup note in blueberry maple pancakes is sometimes overpowering for me, and I don't like it, so I don't always get that candle. But in this one, it is not too much. I don't get like the maple syrupy notes. I get more of like a brown sugar baked good, like the waffle itself. I also don't find it to be too heavy on the spices either. It's just a delicious, intoxicating, sweet bakery scent with a little bit of a fall vibe from those spices. This candle started it all for me with Bath & Body Works candles. I bought it in, I think it was 2016 in the fall time, and I fell in love. And that's what started my obsession with buying Bath & Body Works candles, because it's just that good. And I have to get it every year, and it doesn't ever let me down. It is delicious. So if you like gourmand scent, bakery scents, I highly recommend you try this out. And then another of my absolute favorite gourmand scents for the fall time is pumpkin cinnamon bun. This one is this year's packaging style, but it came out for the first time last year. I'm obsessed with the packaging this year. I think it is so pretty. It's also got the pumpkins on the lid. The notes are warm cinnamon roll, pumpkin spice, and vanilla frosting. You guys, that cream cheese frosting note is so good. So I actually bought the Pillsbury pumpkin spice cinnamon rolls the other day, and I made a can of them, and they tasted exactly how this smells. So good. Maybe even not as good. This smells like if Cinnabon made a pumpkin cinnamon roll, this is what it would smell like, except there's not a whole lot of pumpkin in this. It doesn't smell particularly like fall, like pumpkin spice notes. You could burn this all year round, but especially in the fall and winter, like Christmas time. I always love cinnamon rolls around Christmas time when it's cold outside. And I don't know, there's just something about it. And This just smells like you're baking cinnamon rolls in your oven and you have the best like homemade, delicious cream cheese glaze that you're going to pour over them. It's so good. If you love Cinnabon, if you love cinnamon rolls, you have to try this candle. It's so good. It will make your whole kitchen smell like you're baking homemade cinnamon rolls. All right, so another sweet pumpkin scent is vanilla pumpkin marshmallow. This one is also a classic, comes out year after year. I always get it, I always love it. The notes are Tahitian vanilla, pumpkin spice, homemade marshmallow, and drizzled caramel. And this one is so sweet and so lovely, but somehow it is not cloying. The sweetness for me is not overpowering, which, like I said about maple syrup, caramel is another one of those notes that when it's in candles, sometimes it makes me sick, but not in this, not at all. This is a lighter candle. It has a lighter throw. I like to burn it in our bedroom because it still has enough to fill up that space, whereas in a bigger room, I don't smell it as strong because the throw is lighter, but you do get a lot of the vanilla, you get a little bit of caramel, and then you just get a hint of spice. It doesn't smell like a baked good. I don't get any buttery notes or any cakey notes or anything that smells like you're baking. It smells a lot like, you think of like the marshmallow fluff that came out for Easter a couple years ago, or vanilla bean marshmallow. It's kind of in that family, like those sweet, fluffy, light scents that don't have like the bakery base to them. It is really good, really comforting. I always love scents like this in the fall time. And then my last super, super bakery gourmand scent that I'm burning this month is pumpkin Snickerdoodle. This is one of my favorite ones from this fair line. I was really excited about this and I went into the stores and I bought a few things from this line. This is the only one from this line that I actually truly love. Hometown Sugar Cookies ended up being a no. I loved it on cold. I burned it. It made me sick. I don't like that candle. Blueberry Cotton Candy is okay, but it is also kind of weird on cold. It smells like blueberry cotton candy burning and I like it, but it doesn't feel like a fall candle. And then I didn't get the apple macchiato one. I don't know. I just am not really that into apple scents or coffee scents. So this was the one that I was the most excited about because I love this scent. This is a returning one. The notes are warm sugar cookies, ground cinnamon, fresh nutmeg sprinkled with sugar. And this one smells a lot like sugared Snickerdoodle, a lot like it. They could almost pass as the same candle. I think this one might have a little bit more of those spicy notes to it, the nutmeg, the cinnamon, but that's there in sugared Snickerdoodle as well. Now, if I compare it to pumpkin pecan waffles, because I said this also has similar vibes, this one does have this little bit more of that maple syrup note and almost like a nuttiness to it. I know that it has pecan in the name. It doesn't have pecan in the notes, but there is a nutty quality to this that I don't get from their Snickerdoodle candles. This one has a lot of that like cinnamon, sugar, nutmeg spice on top of the same bakery base. That's what it is. They have like the same buttery, thick, gooey bakery base, but they have some different elements to them. So I really like this one as well. I haven't burned it yet this year. Sugared Snickerdoodle has a huge throw as well, so I hope this one also has a really big, powerful throw. Okay, so one that is new this year was spiced pumpkin and patchouli. I'm gonna burn this during this month because I think it will be great, especially like the week of Halloween, when we get close to Halloween time. The notes are rich pumpkin, warm patchouli, and a touch of cinnamon sugar. This is really interesting, really different. I hope it is good burning because it's one of those candles that could go either way. I do like it on cold. I didn't know what to expect. I love the note of patchouli and perfume, but I didn't know how I would feel about it in a candle with pumpkin, but I like it. It has this really earthy quality. It smells like you're smelling herbs or like you are working in the pumpkin patch, but you're getting a lot of that like soil scent coming up, like almost like there's like wet earth and you can smell the soil. And I don't know, something about that. I love that sort of earthy, gardeny scent that comes out of here. And it reminds me a little bit of like a potpourri or like being in a craft store, like say a Michael's or a Garden Ridge. I always say that, and I know Garden Ridges aren't around anymore. But yeah, it smells really good. Someone commented and said it smells like a witch's shop. And I can totally see that. It does. It smells like a lot of spices and herbs and pumpkins and just very, very natural, and I love it on cold. So I hope I like it burning. And I feel like it will be so much better when there's a chill outside and the weather's cold. It's one of those that to me does not vibe with warm weather. And here in Texas, it is still very hot. This week, there was a day we hit 100 again, but we were in the upper 90s all week. Next week, I think the highs are lower 90s. So in the mornings, we'll get some like 60s and 70s, which isn't cold by any means, but it's cooler. I just cannot wait for those first true cold fronts to come in, and that usually happens towards either the end of September or in the middle of October. So that's why I've got all of my like cooler weather candles moving into October and even November. All right, next is one of my all-time favorite fall candles. This is not a pumpkin one. It's the first one in this month that is not pumpkin, and it is leaves. So the notes on leaves are crisp red apple, golden nectar, and warm clove spice. This is one of the only apple candles that I love. And it's because of those spices, that nectar, that clove. Clove is one of my favorite spice notes. I think it smells so good. I think it gives a richness to scents, and it just really evokes the feeling of fall for me and just of cold weather. So I really love this. It smells like fall in a jar. It's got that like spices again. It kind of smells like a craft shop. And I just really love it. It's traditional. It comes back every year. It has a big following of people that love it. Leaves is a really famous like old school Bath & Body Works candle for a reason. It smells so good. The name, it doesn't actually smell like leaves, but I totally get why it's named that because it's more of a conceptual name. And you think of the leaves turning those bright reds and oranges and yellows and just the feeling you get of fall. This goes perfectly with that. It's an amazing candle. I love it. And then lastly, this is not one of my favorite candles ever, but I need to get through it, and this is a great time of year for it. This is Brown Sugar Latte. This came out last year at Christmas time, hence the Christmassy packaging. The notes are freshly roasted coffee, frothed milk, and sugared praline. The praline note had me really interested because I love that note. And this is very much a coffee scent, but you do get some sweetness in this, I feel like. You do get a little hint of that praline, especially on cold. When it's burning, it does smell a lot just like pure coffee, like you're walking into Starbucks or whatever coffee shop you go to. I burned through Pumpkin Spice Latte in this month of September, and that one doesn't have those sweet notes in it that this one has, so I think I like this one better. But again, it is another very delicious coffee scent. If you are into coffee scents, this is a really good one. Like, I hope they bring this back for people who are into coffee scents. I have learned for myself, I love them on cold, and I would think I would like them because I love the smell of coffee brewing in the house. But for some reason, they're never at the top of my list for favorite scents. I like to have one every now and then, but they're like one and dones for me. I don't usually repurchase them. And as you can see, I had this last year, and I've only burned a little bit of it. And part of that is also because around Christmas time when this came out, there are so many candles coming out towards, during fall and then in Christmas time, and then you have Candle Day and then you have SAS. I get overloaded with candles at that time of year. So that's the other reason that I just didn't burn through it. And then I really don't ever feel like burning coffee scents when it gets into the warmer months. But I do want to get through it now that we are heading into the fall months. And so that's the last one on the list for this month. It does smell good. It really does. But that is all that I'm trying to burn through in October. If I get through those, I'll start pulling in some of the ones that I have for November because it never hurts to get a little bit ahead on my candle burning schedule because like I said, once those holiday candles start coming out, I start wanting everything. And December is only a month long, of course. And a lot of times I get more holiday candles than I can burn in a month. So it's great to start burning some of those, the more neutral, wintry scents in November, because in December you get all of those super Christmassy scents that I love so much. And then I like to save some of the more wintry, more neutral, like Sweater Weather and Frozen Lake and those kind of scents. I'll do that, or like Winter White Woods. Those ones will be more January than say the very, very Christmassy, like the tree scents and things like that. But anyways, now I'm rambling. I can talk forever about candles, but I hope you all liked this video. If you did, don't forget to comment and like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see y'all in my next one. Bye.